What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to share with you two things. First, I'm going to show you the app that I use to scan books and retail arbitrage items in order to sell them on Amazon as a new seller. And then secondly, I'm going to share with you my strategy to go from selling a mere couple $100 worth of stuff on Amazon in January to potentially $15,000 worth of stuff in revenue this coming July. How I'm stair-stepping that up, how I'm making the changes and growing to take advantage of Amazon's absolutely amazing growth potential. So with that being said, let's dive into this video. All right, great, welcome back. I'm gonna be sharing with you this app that I use called Scoutly. This is a third-party app that plugs into the Amazon database and allows you to scan items. It checks the database on Amazon to see what the item is selling for, the sales rank. It calculates your purchase price or cost of goods for the item and then gives you a profit. These are all very accurate ballpark numbers. Nothing is exact, but they are very close ballpark numbers. So the first thing you would do is you would open up the app. It lands you on your dashboard. It has preset profit triggers, as you can see in the upper right-hand corner of the dashboard. And then you can see it says Scout, and there is a barcode there. I'm tapping that. It brings up this page on the app where it tells you buy/reject. So in the upper left-hand corner of this page, you can see it says DB mode, that's database mode. A couple points of clarification on this. You can go active mode where it will use the internet and your data plan to access the database on Amazon. That is slower than if you, prior to going shopping, if you download the database to your phone. It is somewhat of a large file, and so it takes up some hard drive space on your phone. However, it's lightning fast when you're out scanning books and items. We're going to be focusing on books today, and so that is what we're doing. In the upper right-hand corner, you can see it says $1 cost of goods. I set mine at $1 because generally that's about the price that I'm paying at thrift stores and bookstores. If you tap on that, it gives you the option to change that price. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pick up a book. I've got this one called Rhinoceros Success. I paid $1 for this at a used bookstore, and I'm going to hit the scan button and then just hold it over. You can see right away the target is 1070. I'm actually going to change that to the used FBA column. It's in blue right there. Hit that. So it changes the target price. Target price is what I would aim to sell for. Right below that, you see it's 5,830 sales rank. So that's really good. Right next to that, you'll see 177 days with sales. That is the past 6 months or 180 days. So out of 180 days, it's had 177 sales. So nearly every single day for the past 6 months, it has had a sale. It tells you the weight of the book, about a little over half a pound. And then right above that, it says profit, FBA, $3.21. This is after the fees that Amazon would take out for the book and also after your cost of goods sold. So if I were to change the cost of goods sold to 0, then it would show $4.21. So it's kind of important whenever you're out scanning quickly to make sure that you have your cost of goods in that spot so that it will give you an accurate profit. It also shows you how many of these books are for sale. So you have 63 new fulfilled by merchant. You have 4 new fulfilled by Amazon, 14 used fulfilled by Amazon, and then 102 used fulfilled by merchant. Remember that if you have an item for sale by a merchant and by Amazon and the prices are similar, you have a much greater chance of selling the item by using FBA because buyers tend to want that really fast Amazon Prime shipping service. The other thing about this is you're going to lose a little bit more money in fees whenever you use FBA. However, because you're using FBA, Amazon handles all of the returns, the customer service, all that stuff. So all you have to do is scan the book. If it's profitable, it'll actually light up green and say buy. If it's not profitable, it'll say reject and it'll be red. We'll see that in a minute. So you buy the book when it says buy. You prep the book, you input it into Amazon's Seller Central website. It gives you a barcode, you ship it to Amazon, and you're done. That's the end of it. When someone buys it, they pick it, they pack it, they ship it. If the customer loves it, they keep it, and Amazon pays you. If the customer doesn't want it and they want to return, Amazon handles that. It's worth the money that you pay in order to have Amazon handle those aspects of your business. All right. Now, one quick note. At the bottom, you'll see a little camera icon. It says no image available. Right next to that, it says book, and it says rhinoceros, or starts to. Pay very close attention to this, because whenever you're out shopping for items, sometimes you'll scan a book or an item that has a barcode that has actually been applied to a different item. So you see this often whenever you're shopping for books. If you scan a romance novel, I found this to be true with about 40% of romance novels. It'll come up as a toy or a CD or a health product, and it'll light up green saying buy it, $50 profit. But when you look down at that description, it's something that's different than the book. So anytime mine lights up green, I always just glance down for 1 second and make sure it says book and has the beginning of the title name there. All right. So I'm going to just kind of grab off of my bookshelf. This is my personal bookshelf that I read. I've not scanned these books because I have no intention of selling them. However, I will just kind of pick through them, and you'll see live kind of how this works. First one, A Millionaire's Notebook. I doubt this will be worth anything, but I did pay $1 for it. You can see right there, negative 75 cents. You would not buy this book for $1. You would not take this book and sell it for free, period. You can see the rank is 378,000. That's, if this were a profitable book, I would go for that. I go for anything 700,000 rank or below. But because of the fees that it would cost to sell this book, FBA, it just simply wouldn't be worth it. I would lose money. I would pay more in fees than I would get for the sale of the book. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, another book that is a dime a dozen. And so this actually has a barcode over the, this has a store barcode over the actual book barcode. This is a good point here to let you know that there's an ISBN in all modern books. Really old books don't have ISBN numbers, but there is a ISBN number in all modern books. At the bottom of the app, you can see it says 978, and it's in sort of this box bracket kind of thing. If you tap that, it brings up the camera, and you put the ISBN in that, and it pulls it up. So it's a little bit longer way to scan, but whenever you don't want to sit there and peel these store labels off, that's the way to go. Once again, not a profitable book. The sale price for FBA is $4.80. It's got a 476,000 rank, and the profit would be negative 121. You would pay out of pocket for someone to buy your book. Don't buy that. Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. It's a $3.09 profit, 4,000 rank. This is a very popular book right now. That's why it's a 4,000 rank, which is good. .com Secrets. It's a $1.07 profit. It's a 3580 rank. That's really good too. My standard for buying books to sell is if I'm going to spend $1 on the book, I want to get at least $2 profit after cost of goods sold and after fees paid to Amazon. So this does not meet that criteria. I would be spending $1 to make an additional $1. When the book sells, I would only get $2 back. That would be the cost of goods sold and the profit for the book. This would be a no-go in my book. Pun, right? Yeah, no-go for me. This book, People Over Profit by Dale Partridge. So this is a no-go as well. This is 27 cents profit if I spent $1 on the book. I actually bought that book from Amazon a few years ago. I've never seen it out in public, so I doubt I would get that for $1. Here's a book that's on fire by Dean Graziosi, Millionaire Success Habits. Scanning this, it says, all right, this barcode is unscannable. So for this book, we have to go to the ISBN, and it shows that it's profitable by $5.92. I got this book for free, So we can actually go to the cost of goods and put 0, and you see it's now $6.92. I went to a Dean Graziosi seminar and they were handing these books out. It's a 44,000 rank, which is really good. That would sell fairly quickly. 176 have sold in the past 180 days, so at least one a day. You see that there's 21 on FBA, and so we could estimate that this would sell, if there's 21 on FBA and all 21, FBA is going to sell before fulfilled by merchant. So you would sell this in about 3 to 4 weeks. You can estimate that. There's no hard fact. There's no hard number. If you come in at maybe $15.60, you could sell potentially faster because you would be the lowest price. But yeah, that's not a bad book to sell. And then finally, the last book that we'll look at, How Money Works. I highly recommend this. In fact, I will put a link in the description to this book. This is excellent if you are a person that needs to learn more about how money works. Most people in the public education system in America were not taught how money works. I got this book from a friend of mine. Well, he recommended it. I'm recommending it to you. It's infographic, and so it teaches you everything from real estate, how to invest, the stock market, how businesses work, how capitalism works. It teaches you a lot of stuff. So let's scan this. And so this one as a book, you can see it's a 22,000 rank. There's 177 that have sold in the past 180 days, but it's only $1.47 profit. Why? Because this is a little bit heavier of a book. So the shipping is going to cost a little bit more for Amazon, their fees. It would sell decently fast. The price just isn't there. And you can see there's no used books on Amazon for FBA. All right, I hope that kind of gives you guys an explanation of this app and how it works. To use this app, there are 2 plans. There's actually a $10 plan that gives you only the active database, so you can't download it to your phone, or you can pay $35 a month and get the database. That's what I do. You have to have a professional seller's account with Amazon, which is $40 a month. If you want this app, there's a link in the description, and right now they're offering 30-day free trial, so you can at least check it out and see if it's something that works for you. I hope this has been beneficial to you. Now let's kind of transition into the strategy of how I plan to grow from just a few $100 that I made in January to 15,000 in July of 2019. With scaling Amazon, there's tremendous potential, and you kind of have to look at numbers and what you're doing to achieve these numbers. So using that app that I showed you, I've been able to consistently pick winning books and only winning books. I've not had any books that have declined or been in a bad position. Now, granted, some of them take longer to sell because they have a higher sales rank, but for the most part, all of these books are winners. For me, the numbers have lined up like this. I am selling, on average, 1% of my total inventory per day. So that's 30% per month, or just under 1/3 of what I have in inventory. So knowing these numbers and gauging myself by sticking with the sourcing method that I've been using, it's pretty easy to see how I can scale this up. Right now, as I'm making this video, I have 402 items as active inventory in my Amazon account at the fulfillment centers. So at 1%, that means that I will sell 4 items today. Tomorrow, I will sell another 4. The next day, I'll sell another 4. Now, remember that as with anything, there's variations slightly. Some days I sell 3, some days I sell 5, but overall, it averages out to 1% per day. Okay, so knowing that information, how can I aim to make 15,000 revenue in July of 2019? I have to know how many books to sell, and I need to know the price at which I'm selling books. Right now, I'm selling books at about $23 per book on average. I want to shoot lower than that because I'm going to be dealing in more volume. I want to estimate that I'll be selling maybe between the $16 to $18 range per book, and that's pretty good average. So I'm going to take you up to my whiteboard and I will show you what I've got worked out on there. All right, so you can see right here, that at 3,000 books, if I had 3,000 books in the Amazon warehouse and I'm selling 1% daily, that would be sales of 30 books per day at $18 per book on average, which remember I told you is that's a little bit low for what we're doing right now, would be $540 per day times 30 days is $16,740. So that means we need to build to 3,000 books by July. But whenever you're talking about building up, it's not like you can just buy 3,000 books and send it to Amazon and then you have 3,000 books, because every single day you're losing inventory by making sales. So I've determined that I need to buy 4,400 books between January 26th and June 29th. So this is the projection side of things. For the January 26th deadline, the goal was 80 and I made 80. February 2nd, the goal was 80 and I made 80. For February 9th, the goal was 80 and we hit 94. I pushed a little bit harder because I don't know how the 120 goal is going to end up going, and we'll see once we get all the books tallied how many we make there. But you can kind of see week by week, right? 120, 120, 120, 120, move it up a little bit. So I'm learning as I'm buying these books what it takes to grow and to reach out. I need to hit more stores. I need to hit different bookstores. I need to adjust my plan. 200, 200, 200. Now, mind you, up until now, I've only been sourcing 1 to 2 places to get all my 80 to 94 books. So I'm going to have to stretch out and reach to other stores in the area before I can get these 200 and 300 book goals. But by doing this, by hitting these super high numbers, I will reach the 4,400 total buys, which after the daily sales have been calculated in Amazon every day, every month for those 5 or 6 months. So on July 1st, at that point, I will have the 3,000 books in my inventory and be able to make the 30 sales per day, or 1,000 sales. We'll say 1,000 sales per month. You can see right here for June, it's showing 1,400 book purchase, right? I'll have to purchase 1,400 books to close out June so that July is winning. If we sell 1/3, which I believe we will, for July, because we've been keeping the same sourcing practices, we should, in theory, keep the same numbers. So instead of sourcing in July 1,400 books like I did in June, I would only need to source and replace the 1,000 or 33% that sells in July. That's where it starts to get a little bit easier. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it was helpful. I hope it kind of explained some of my goals and projections. As with anything, right? You can plan as much as you want, but life has a tendency to kind of do its own thing. So do the best you can planning, but don't get discouraged if you don't make those goals. These are extremely lofty goals. One of my friends called me crazy. He looked at me and said, "Do you understand? You sound like a lunatic talking like this." That's how I knew I had a good, big, healthy goal to go after. They say you don't eat an elephant all in one bite. You take a lot of little bites. And so I'm taking a lot of little bites as fast as possible. Each book that I buy is its own win. So set your goals high, reach high, work super hard. Like work as if your life depended on it, right? Because it does. Don't get discouraged when you don't meet the goals. Grant Cardone talks about having a 10x goal. Why do you have a 10x goal? You know, if you're making $10,000 a year in your resale business, let's say you're making 10 grand a year, and you set a goal, 10x, $100,000. You might hit that 100,000, right? But let's say that you only hit 50% of that. You only get to 5x. Well, now you're at 50 grand. You were at 10, now you're at 50. That's an excellent achievement. But let's say that you set a goal for 50,000, but you only reached half of it because for whatever reason, maybe your work ethic, maybe your situations and your circumstances only permitted you to reach a 50%. Well, then you're only at 25 grand, right? So set those 10x goals, set super high. Am I going to be upset if I only reach $7,500 in revenue for July? No way, because that's beyond where I'm at now. I will have hit at least 50% of my goal. Do I plan to reach just 7,500? No, I plan to go all the way. I'm working for the all the way goal. If I land a little bit short, that's okay, because then I can see what worked, see what didn't, readjust, reevaluate, and proceed forward towards that heavy, insane, ludicrous, crazy goal. Go for it. Don't let it stop you. Remember that if you are into buying used books, retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, any of these things, get yourself a good scanner app. It can be Scoutly, it can be Scout IQ, it can be any one of these things. I recommend Scoutly because that's what I was turned on to, and it works for me. Works like a dream. If you want that 30-day free trial, there's a link in the description. Click that link, get the 30-day free trial. See if you make a few bucks. You know, if you make some profit off of it, then that shows that it's worth it. Thank you to all of you who have been subscribing. It means so much to me. Thank you to all of you who stop and leave a like on the videos. It means a lot to me. I hope you guys got value from this, and I will see you on the next video.